We are seeing type 2 diabetes in the pediatric population. When I went to medical school 25 years ago, I remember my professor saying that type 1 diabetes is what we see in kids, and type 2 diabetes does not happen in kids. And in the next 25 years is for the first time in history, basically, we started to see that. And now we see it in spades. If a adolescent is diagnosed with diabetes, it's nearly as likely that it will be type 2 as it will be type 1 diabetes for the 13 and older population. And that's a major change from even 20 years ago. So I think for sure, if you said, hey, what's it doing to the 30-year risk of type 2 diabetes? It'd be a major increase. But there is a certain subset of kids that have a genetic predisposition so strong that we're even seeing full-blown type 2 diabetes in 11, 12, 13-year-old kids. So that's the most direct thing.
Is that the youngest you're seeing type 2 diabetes in? Are there cases where it's even younger?
I have seen it as young as 6 years old. I've probably seen a handful of cases, 6, 7, 8-year-old age range. That's very unusual. The most common diagnosis age in kids is going to be at the early stage of puberty because puberty actually increases insulin resistance. So there's this temporary spike in insulin resistance in the pubertal years because we have a spike of growth hormone secretion, which actually increases insulin resistance. Goes away at the end of puberty, but kind of 10 to 13 years old is when we see most kids diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
Okay. And since kids are starting to go into puberty earlier, do you think it's going to shift with it, the insulin resistance?
Well, yes, but I don't think that's going to majorly impact the age. I think because we never saw type 2 diabetes in the past when the ages of puberty were later. So we don't really have a comparison. But yes, now that on average, and especially with obesity, we see earlier puberty. So I do think that's impacted it. But we're talking in terms of months earlier, not drastically 5 years earlier.